Well, you couldn't come to San Antonio without going to the Alamo. It's right in the middle of town, so to speak. I don't see how they fought that battle with all these people around. But anyway, it's right there, the Alamo. I know you'd feel cheated if I didn't show you this little tourist place. Happy Easter. Today is Easter. This is the Riverwalk area. It's about 2 blocks from San Antonio, from the Alamo. It is packed with tourists, including us. Texas, and we came into the library so I could download one of my videos and walked up to the counter. And there's ravioli laying there. And he was so still, Jenny didn't see him, but anyway, we're in Sonora, Texas. Today is April the 9th, and we've landed on Mars. Now this is Big Bend National Park, right on the border of, we weren't going to get near Mexico, but we're straddling the border almost. But this place, they sent the astronauts, literally, seriously, here in 1964, before they sent them to the moon, to study the geological formations here, so they would be familiar with them on the moon. But we're about 200 miles south of I-10. But anyway, here we are. Same day, we're still in the Big Bend National Park. These are the Chisos Mountains. And this is called the Window. Big Bend National Park is the least visited national park in the country. A friend of mine said, if you saw a sign on a restaurant that said the least visited restaurant, would you go there? Ernie Morris said that. Made a lot of sense. But here we are. Here's another view of the Window. We just finished a 1.9 mile, I think it was all uphill, Chicos Basin Loop Trail. It was almost more fun than I could stand. But we did it. We just finished that trail loop. This guy must be nuts. It says don't bring a motorhome longer than 24 feet up this mountain road. But he did it. You know, another thing about doing that loop walk was they've got warning signs all over the place telling you how to react if you encounter a mountain lion. It says scare him off. Interesting. A place called Sotol, S-O-T-O-L Vista. And that's Mexico right over there in the Rio Grande, probably 30 miles, I would think. And this is one of those vista places that you look at. That's the quietest I've ever been on a video. There's 360 degrees of it. One more little tidbit. There's Homer Wilson's ranch in a little valley right near that overlook where we were. Maybe he's got a peyote garden down there. That's the only way I could possibly tolerate it. But if you want solitude, there it is. And by the way, Homer had 4,000 sheep and 2,500 goats. And he abandoned this thing in 1945. I don't blame him. All right, I know this will just knock you off your feet, but there's the other side of the window that we looked at a while ago. The window that we looked this way. It's looking back the other way from here. We're gonna do this, but here's where we've been for the past 2 nights. We're about 10 miles from the Mexican border. And this is one of those, I guess, typical Southwest or West Texas campground, certainly not very plush, but we're 2.5 miles from the Big Bend National Park. But I just want to show you some of this. It's not always easy and plush. This is a little bit desolate. Getting ready to head out. Note, this place is called Study, S-T-U-D-Y, Butte, B-U-T-T-E, I believe. Study Butte, Texas. Something interesting. Today is April 10th, by the way. We've come out of Big Bend, thank goodness. We're about 50 miles, 60 miles east of Van Horn, Texas, out here in the flatlands, and there's a giant dirigible. I have no idea what the deal is on it, but there it sits. Got a big enough landing area, I guess. Texas here, tethered aerostat radar system is what that blimp was. Tethered aerostat radar system.
Northwest Texas, heading due north up to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. This is pretty typical mountainous northern Texas. These mountains over here on our left side are the Sierra Diablo Mountains. We've traveled, I'd say, about 30 miles, and we have seen one car. These mountains on the right side are the Delaware Mountains. Don't know why they're called the Delaware Mountains. Mr. Dick will find out for us. To the Guadalupe Mountains. Guadalupe Mountains National Park, northern Texas.
Guadalupe Mountains National Park. We're about 12 miles from New Mexico, south of New Mexico. We left, where did we stay last night? Van Horn, Texas. We've been about 60 or 70 miles up here. Can't really get a very good vista from here, but this used to be a reef underwater. Beats me, movie heaven. If you like home movies. We're in Carlsbad Caverns in southern New Mexico. You can't see anything, but I just wanted to shoot this. We're headed to the big room, but this is amazing. You can't see this very well, but it's called the Hall of Giants, and this is part of the big room, which is 600,000 square feet. And we're 754 feet below. T-shirt that said tourist on it, I'd wear it. We're at Carlsbad Caverns National Park in southern New Mexico. And here's the terrain change. We've got mountains over there to the west, but out here it looks like the real Texas, I guess. But that walk was 1.25 miles around the, quote, big room, and it's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. It was amazing.
Passing through Roswell, New Mexico. That's the New Mexico Military Institute right there. This is the home of Area 51. Are you ready? We're looking for aliens. Roswell, New Mexico. Those little green men, aliens, they're everywhere in New Mexico. Roswell. We're on I-40 West, going down into the valley of Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's down in a valley between a couple of mountain ranges on the Rio Grande River. Here's the Rio Grande River, just a few miles north of Albuquerque. It's kind of tiny up here. We're several hundred miles north of the Mexican border. Rio Grande, just north of Albuquerque. A few miles north of Albuquerque, New Mexico, the terrain is amazing. All of these mountain ranges and highways zip around through these valleys. It's very dry. Pretty cool for April.
There's the Continental Divide. I just barely got it. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong thing. Here it is right here. Continental Divide. Everything on this side of it goes to the Pacific Ocean, and on the other side goes to the Gulf of Mexico, theoretically. And the Atlantic Ocean, I think. A wild shot in the northern part of New Mexico. Strange country around here. Looks like the moon.
It's April 14th. We're just passing into Colorado from New Mexico. This is a great view of the Colorado Mountains. We just climbed out of a river valley on our way to Durango.
April 15th, tax day. There we are. We're in a park right across from Mesa Verde National Park, which is right up there. We're going up there in a few minutes, and then we're about 10 miles east of Cortez, Colorado. And this is the end of the video. I'll start another one up there, but this is the end of the video.